April 30, 2024, 12:01:13.
Ready to do this?
I think so.
So I guess we'll start off before the incident. Somewhere in the day, you'd like to pick it up. What was going on?
So that day, I wasn't even. So I think I'm wondering how I had to work that U shift. Maybe a call came in that was like a guy I've been dealing with, and it like didn't sound right, and it was only one officer wrong because a bunch of people were tied out. So I just started drifting that way.
Yeah, it was regular day. I was sitting at my desk, and where the call come in wasn't clear to me, but it sounded like officer would go up shooting, shots were fired. So I immediately got up, and a lot of things running through my head on the way there. We didn't know who was involved, how many of them were involved, or if any of them had been injured, and we didn't know that until we got there.
As I'm standing directly in front of the door, which I learned is a bad idea, and it's a tight apartment complex. There's nowhere to really come on the road. There's, technically he was in the best spot probably, but you can't to interact with someone or go hands on a restaurant when you have to be standing right there. So we're all standing around waiting to really clear the call with and keep eyes on.
When that door opened, and then all of a sudden you saw him raise the gun, and it was everything slow motion. I think several of us yelled either something with a gun.
But yeah, I started firing the gun because he still had the gun in his hands. He looked like he was trying to still lift it up and shoot us.
And then I got to the door, and I got some shots off. Next I know, we're all three of us standing within in the living room. I couldn't believe the Fred wasn't hit. We told him to check himself and whatnot. He wasn't there.
He did like one or two checks on me and nothing, like it wasn't bleeding anywhere. His gun malfunction or made him lower the gun.
One of the hardest things that I had to do initially was I amputate 2 guns from my officers. I only have 1 gun, so I gave my gun to one of the officers, and fortunately we had some other people coming in, and someone went to the armory and grabbed a couple of weapons. So I got one from the armory, and then we gave one to the other officer, and then we got them out of there.
For those that may see this then aren't law enforcement or don't know, what about taking an officer's gun? Why was that significant to you and that officer?
Because if you take an officer's gun, automatically it's going to put them in a whole different mindset, and it probably won't be a good one. Until we know for sure whether or not they did something wrong, they carried a gun to work. That's part of their equipment.
What is the next recollection that comes to mind?
I was shaking, but I was too concerned and helping at that point. I was offering, what do you guys need? What do you do? Is there still kind of that auto kind of mode? And then when we had a minute, and it was just my friend Pat and I up in the apartment, we talked, and he's like, did you shoot me? Yeah. He was like, get down there. Like, I didn't know what to do. Then when I realized what was going on, I wasn't a mess, but I'd never been through that before. My mind didn't know how to handle it,
All that stuff's just like racing through your mind, like what's my life gonna be like after this, like, and then the ultimate top of that, like don't die is number 1, and then like don't go to prison is number 2. Like, so like, is this a good shoe? I think it's a good shoe. Like, did the guy even have a gun? And like, was it a real gun? Like, those are all things that are firing through your head while you send the hospital where you get your heart rate checked and your blood pressure checked.
Was there a part of like, oh shit, how am I gonna explain this one?
A day I wasn't supposed to be working, you know what I mean? Like, so like, I'm not, how do I supposed to be in uniform? Like, yeah, same thing, like, it's, and the fact that like, it is such a small town. So like, I not only have to explain this to my wife and like everything goes along with it, and I'm like, God knows when I'm back to work. I have to tell my kids who are old enough and in school to be like, Daddy just shot someone, or like, because we had to explain that to them, and like, it's tough. And I'm sure like little kids talk, like everyone talks, right? So I'm sure that stuff is going on at school, like things probably get brought up, or teachers know and stuff, So. No, everyone thinks it's like cool, like cowboy stuff, like being a shooting or something like that, until like you actually are, and that's like, what the fuck, man? How your life changed, no? So it's not, people don't get it. Like some people, I heard you killed a guy. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, you live with that for the rest of your life, So people don't get it. Like, you gotta wake up every day with that. But it's tough, man. So, and you guys did so awesome with like teaching us how to deal with it.
In 29 years, I've gone to a lot of incidents, and some that were pretty bad. And we left that call and just went to the next call, and that's what we did for our career. As the chief of police, it's my responsibility to make sure that the leadership in that department is aware it's okay for an officer to go through tough times, and to make sure that it's okay for them to come and ask for help. I think that it's very important to have officers within your department who are on the Cism team and can also offer that peer support within the department. And we have to do it. We have to.
So, you've been in law enforcement for a while, right? Where have you seen Cism, Pierce Fort mental health evolve in your career?
Yeah, since I've been on, I went to an academy that didn't talk about mental health at all. And then when Cism started in 16, even then, we were the laughing stock of some people for a little while. And then you just saw slowly people accepting it and just sitting back and saying, like, wait a minute, I just make fun of this shit, but it's actually darn helpful.
I think can bring out a lot of phenomenal points, because I think the general public's perception is like these incidents happen and then we can put paid education out of work.
Yeah.
But that couldn't be farther from the truth. There's so many other things coming at you from all those different angles, and it doesn't just stop that day. It goes on for a very long time.
We go leave the hospital, and you guys tell us that, like, you're gonna be with Virginia this day, and then, gonna have another clan this day, and we're gonna have a mini Strugglewell this day. And so it was really confident to know that, like, we have things planned. And so I told faith in the process going forward.
If you had to give me like two major takeaways from this?
I would say the first one would be to basically know when to ask for more. The second takeaway, trust the process, because it really, really, really does help. It really helps.
So there's about 1,000 police shootings a year that happen. So it happens a lot across the country. So I think knowledge of what it entails, and then like the help that's out there is so important too. You wouldn't have thought Cism back in the day, it wouldn't even have a spot in a chief's table, and now it's one of the primary things that like people call from everywhere. Everyone uses it. Having that tool, having the knowledge and resources is one part that I think is very, very important.
I think you just summed it up perfectly, and you brought a great deal of raw stuff to the table. So I can't thank you enough for everything we've done, continue to do. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you, man.
Go to 3.